wasn't pushed to do it. It was something that I chose to do.
That is it, mate. Oh, this is very profound. Oh my God. Question four. Where were we in this list? Considering the growing popularity of cloud gaming services, do you predict that Nintendo will embrace cloud gaming in the next generation console? If so, how might this impact accessibility and game library offerings? What do you think?
I think that we are still a ways off of cloud gaming because it's prohibitively technologically limited. Some places don't have high-speed internet. Some machines don't have the ability to do
That's a
it.
good
So
point.
that's already
Yeah.
prohibitively technologically.
Yeah.
It's a technological barrier. It's not. It's not something anyone can pick up and start doing. And because of Stadia's crash and burn, spectacular crash
Sorry,
and
I have
burn,
to laugh at them.
it has soured.
That's
I
right.
imagine it has soured investors on it because here's Microsoft invested a whole ton of money and time and licensing to it, and the whole thing crashed and burned. Now that was their own fault.
Yes. That's right.
They screwed themselves on that in every sense of the word. But I do think that it's going to be a while before we have accessible cloud gaming. Now, if
Ah,
you're willing to
yeah.
invest in a high-speed internet, yeah, the sound is great, but it opens up, some really depressing and quite distressing concepts. Like, do you own your own products?
Interesting. Oh, okay, you know what? Okay, this reminds me of something. We were talking about Nintendo versus Sony when it came to VR, and I was thinking back. I was thinking back. How many years? Came to Japan nearly 5 years ago. No, 5 years ago. I came to Fukuoka like 4 years ago. So, but I was in another part of Japan, Saga, and I came to visit Fukuoka once just with a friend. We went to a baseball match, and we passed through the Hakata uh, gaming arcade, and they had Mario Kart VR headsets there, and we were playing, and I was like, that there. I just
Yeah,
want to
fun.
take you on the whole journey. But that is how I think you get good quality, high tech stuff with Nintendo. You go the Sega route. If you incorporate a lot of that stuff that needs more top tier technology or computer setup to run, then I think taking some of that stuff to the arcade gaming maybe a way. I mean, who knows? Maybe arcade gaming is an untapped avenue. I mean, what if? What do you think? What if games like we can play at home can be connected to an arcade gamer experience? I mean, nobody's really thought of that, have they? Or
Well,
maybe.
I say arcade games tend to have a certain amount of peripherals and a certain amount of technological advancement. If we think going back, the arcade was where the best level of technology was. People went
Was,
to the
yeah.
arcade for the most visually impressive versions. Home consoles were always a downgrade from the arcade because they didn't have the technology that the arcade machines had. And even now, if you go to a contemporary arcade with current gen games, some of these things are bleeping
Mm,
incredible, like really impressive.
right.
But the idea of cloud gaming and arcade would actually be make sense in a business sense. Like if you funded the initial technology, like the login, then they could make money on just like a pay-as-you-go system.
Oh, no, say that again. Say that again, please. Just to educate us, please tell me what you just
Okay,
said
okay.
again.
So the arcade was basically a money sponge. You
Mm,
would put money in to play the game, and the game would actually try to kill you because then you die. You have to give it more money. And then early gaming followed that ethos by making games incredibly difficult. I'm thinking the NES era.
mm. Ah,
Console gaming became more prolific, though people wanted a more rounded experience, and so games became easier to play, less challenging, and more engaging. They started to tell full stories. They started to tell more experiences, as opposed to just do the thing until you die. Pac-Man, a la
mm,
Pac-Man. But arcades have never gone. They've fallen out of favor. They've become unprofitable in some regions, but they've never ceased to be popular. Every gamer loves a good arcade. So if you kind of capitalized on that desire, and maybe cloud gaming could be the way. Maybe you could just buy a login to a certain arcade, and then you could play a certain amount of games. Great. Or you could get a cheap login and just pay as you go.
Whoa, dude, you get my mind turning for F.I.G.S. But I mean, to be honest, I guess it's a tough business to. I mean, I can't talk about it on a Kickstarter level or anything. It's one of those things. I mean, the industry, the arcade world, has always been scary because it's been, especially in Japan, where you got some gangsters involved. But
yeah,
but
it's all Yakuza run, but because it's a great way to launder money. But I'm just thinking that if arcades were also the like social hubs, they were places where people converged and connected with one another. Early gamers came to the arcade to be with other gamers because gaming was not mainstream at that point. This is early gaming. It wasn't until the PlayStation generation that gaming revamped and gamers were less seen as social outcasts, as kind of the outside of society, and became, hey, this is the cool new thing, it's the 90s, get the game, and became mainstream. Now, gaming has always been, after that, gaming was always a major hobby, a major industry. The Wii kind of pushed it, got a lot of new people to try gaming, especially older generations. But before that time, the arcade was where you played the best games. The arcade was where you connected with people. So maybe cloud gaming could create that kind of environment because you're already online. So if you married short, simple games or communal games with the online kind of social aspect, you could maybe log into a cloud-based arcade, socialize with people, play the games in the arcade.
That's quite the business model. I hope that comes into fruition. Who knows? If it's us who bring it to pass, man, maybe we'll be legends. But
I can't code for shit, dude. Pardon my language. I can't code. So
well, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe. I mean, my approach to entering the game industry is, as I've been speaking to people over the years, is I kind of settled myself on the idea of doing it entrepreneurially. I mean, even with what we're doing now with building our community on F.I.G.S and MatMadik channel, I'm hoping to collaborate.
And link.
Yes, everybody, please subscribe and link. Let's get the ball rolling. Yes, and as we do that, we're hoping to bring people on board who can do that, as opposed to trying to do everything ourselves. I think trying to do it ourselves, that would be a smart move. I
always thought F.I.G.S was supposed to be a place where people who liked games, who want to talk with games, who wanted to play games, could connect and hey, come join the conversation and find people who want to play. Like, I could use some more people to play with. I certainly need practice. I'm stoked for the new Street Fighter 6. It looks good, and
I will.
I could use a bit more practice.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, please. We definitely want to get gaming with others. But one step at a time, man. But now, as things are going, we may have to do one more question for today and continue the next part next session. Hopefully, Professor Pro. I'm gonna push the word Pro Susie in there. If Professor Susie could like it. If she's not into it, then that's fine. But I don't know, just something rolled off the tongue. Pro Susie.
Pro Susie. That does sound a little bit risque, like she's a professional.
I know. Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, okay. Let's try. Okay. Let's try the next question.